Chapter 250. Battlefield Encounter. Hegemonic Emperor Cangtian. This name was very unfamiliar to the group of people of the City of Heaven. But from now on, I'm afraid that no one would ever forget this name again. Die, or retreat, you two. Cangtian raised the blood knife in his hand, pointing towards the two invincible powerhouses opposite him, purple light flashing in his eyes as he said with a cold face. The icy cold words spread in all directions. Everyone closed their breaths. They felt a vast pressure coming from them. That purple-robed youth who stood proudly in the void was like an emperor, unrivaled in the world. Boom! It was a vast might, overbearing, like an emperor reigning over the world, swallowing mountains and rivers, unrivaled in the world. Cangtian had a chilling aura in his eyes, and the blood knife in his hand was even more murderous. He took a step out like a heavenly horse. Terrifying power surged out from under his feet, shaking the heavens and shaking the earth. Everyone felt a huge pressure descending down. Everyone felt their bodies sink. Their bodies were filled with heavy pressure. The two invincible powerhouses opposite Cangtian felt it the most deeply. Their faces were full of gravity at the moment. As Cangtian's aura erupted, a huge purple shadow unfolded behind him, and invincible battle intent swept across the heavens and earth. The void was trembling. It was Cangtian's vision. It was like it seemed to be alive, taking huge steps. One step out, the stars shook, mountains crumbled. Huge waves were in the air. The entire heaven and earth were resonating. Only I am the only one who has a vision. Everyone cried out in astonishment. Those present were all imperial-level powerhouses, naturally knowing the terrifying nature of this vision. Every strong person who was able to perceive this kind of vision was incomparably powerful, and most of them had risen to the invincible level, or even gone farther. Like that devil sky was like that, and ended up reigning supreme as spirit sealing space. Obviously, this purple-robed youth also had this potential. Could this be another devil heaven? Is the third supreme of the spirit sealing space going to be born? The crowd was shocked to speculate in their hearts. They thought of devil heaven back then. Devil heaven also came to the City of Heaven in this strong manner, and ended up sweeping across the entire ancient city, the only one who was supreme and domineering. And Cangtian was walking the same path as Devil Sky at the moment, both so domineering, with a warlike intent that surged to the heavens. Boom! A loud bang came, but it was those two invincible powerhouses who struck out against Cangtian. There was no way they could just be drank back by Cangtian with a single word, because it would be too suffocating. It would make their reputation go down the drain. However, they immediately regretted it, only to see a blazing light shoot out from Cangtian's eyes. His blade shattered the void and broke straight through the sky. The terrifying blade swept out, destroying everything as the entire heaven and earth were split in half. Under this blade of Cangtian, all things were irresistible. Everyone held their breath, not daring to breathe a single breath. Is this the path of death you have chosen? The words were icy cold, and the killing aura was terrifying. Rumble. The boundless blade onings ******* million, finally converging together to form an unrivaled torrent, rushing away, and wherever it passed, the heavens and earth trembled. What a terrifying power! The crowd watching the battle outside the arena was stunned. The pressure coming from the sky made them nearly suffocate. Boom! Cangtian's face was cold, and his eyes were radiant as he slashed out, with a blade that was unrivaled and continuous, like a shocking wave rushing in to overthrow the heavens. The two invincible powerhouses blood boiled and roared up to the sky, erupting their peak battle power to meet Cangtian's slash. However, the result was very cruel, as the two invincible powerhouses flew out backwards, spewing out a mouthful of blood, their faces filled with disbelief. The surroundings were silent. The crowd was silent. A blade that injured two invincible powerhouses. Who could withstand this kind of might? Boom! Cangtian once again stepped forward, strong and unrivaled, Domineering aura rushed to the sky, the aura that erupted from his body. Not a single person could withstand it. Everyone felt an almost suffocating sense of oppression. The hearts of the crowd were shocked. This feeling they hadn't experienced for a long time. The last time they experienced it was when they faced the supreme demon Heaven. Obviously, this purple-robed youth wasn't much worse, even if it wasn't as good as Devil Heaven. The 6 peerless powerhouses of the 7 heroes of the Heavenly City also discovered this, and they coincidentally stopped their hands and detached themselves from the battle, gazing at the overbearing figure in midair from afar. Brother, Little Gold saw this and walked over, standing behind Kangtion. Brother Dao, this blade of yours isn't simple. Brahma Shen also walked over, his eyes staring curiously at the blood knife in Kangchon's hand. With Kangchon's strength, if he was in the middle of a battle state, he indeed had the certainty of injuring 2 invincible powerhouses with a single slash, but at the moment, Kangchon wasn't displaying a battle state. Obviously, this all must be attributed to his hands of the blood knife. This knife is extraordinary. In the hands of Kangchon is to play a matchless power. Ground, all the people are silent, are looking up at the 3 figures high in the air. These 3 domineering figures seem to be carved in their hearts, can no longer be erased. The 6 invincible powerhouses also came up in the air, appearing not far from Kangchon's trio, both sides glaring at each other. 3 friends. Why bother fighting to the death over a trivial matter? Why don't we sit down and make merry over wine? The sardonic peerless powerhouse walked forward and said with a face full of kindness. He was dressed in green, his long hair flying, his eyes bright, and his entire person looked extremely spirited. To introduce myself, the 3 friends can call me Windless, he then said. The other 5 peerless powerhouses no longer dared to say anything more this time. They all stared at Kangchon with a face full of gravity, a trace of horror flashing in their eyes, especially those 2 peerless powerhouses who had fought with Kangchon once. Their gazes were even more trembling. HMPH, a life and death battle with just you guys. Kangchon did not speak, but Xiaojin on the side revealed a look of disdain and sneered. Amitabha Buddha, Master Buddha, is in need of life and death battles to stimulate his potential. Brahma Heart said so, causing the faces of the group of peerless powerhouses on the opposite side to change. The peerless powerhouse called Windless smiled dryly at his words and said, "Why do you have to be like this? We are all trialists who have come to the spirit sealing space, so why fight to the death? Even if you kill us, you won't have any benefits." Brother, what do you think? Little Gold directly ignored him and asked Kangchon. Fanqin also stopped talking, and both of them took Kangchon as their leader. The 7 males of Celestial City naturally knew that Kangchon was the strongest and possessed the absolute right to speak, and immediately their gazes turned to Kangchon one by one. HMPH. Feeling the gazes coming from the ***** surroundings, Kangchon coldly snorted as his stern eyes swept out, instantly causing a crowd of people to put away their sights, not daring to probe any further. Everyone closed their breaths and waited for Kangchon's answer: war or peace. Go. Kangchon suddenly waved his hand and left with the duo of Xiaojin and Brahma Shin, not speaking to the 7 heroes of Heavenly City again since the beginning. Who are you? Watching Kangchon's trio leave, the 7 heroes of Heavenly City all breathed a sigh of relief. Plop. Right at this moment, a bloody human head shot up into the sky, flashing with dazzling blood flowers. It was a stunningly beautiful face, hanging with bitter tears, its beautiful eyes full of unwillingness. The people immediately exclaimed in shock, and the 7 heroes of Heavenly City also looked over. That is the Fox Emperor's head. When the Kangchon trio left, a gorgeous sword light ***** came and brought up the Fox Emperor's head, and the rushing column of blood gushed out, and the blood flowers were all over the ground. Harming people is ultimately harmful. The 7 males of Sky City were silent. Even that Changkongji didn't say anything. Before, he already hated the Fox Emperor very much. Even if there was no Kangchon's hand, he wouldn't let the Fox Emperor go. At this time, he naturally didn't care about the Fox Emperor's life and death. This fox is really an idiot, even seeking death by himself. Little Gold glanced at the slain Fox Emperor. Words can't be said any other way. This time, if it was someone else, I'm afraid that she would have really been counted to death. Fanshin shook his head. HMPH, in the face of absolute strength. No matter how much he plots and schemes, in the end, it's still an empty game. Little Gold hummed. Heh. Vanshin smiled undeniably at his words. The crowd just looked at their backs and watched the three leave, the shock in their hearts lingering for a long time. It was clear to everyone that after this battle, Heavenly City would completely boil over. Everyone could not forget those 3 domineering figures. The 3 of them would bring unpredictable changes to Heavenly City, and even the Heavenly City battlefield. What an arrogant and domineering aura. One of the 7 heroes of Heavenly City said with a morose expression, his eyes filled with jealousy. He has this kind of strength. It's better if we don't provoke him. A peerless powerhouse next to him warned. The Heavenly City battlefield is about to open. They will leave by themselves. We don't need to provoke them. Windlass said indifferently. At this time, his face no longer had a trace of a smile on it, and appeared very cold. Strangely enough, the other 7 males of Heavenly City did not say anything more upon hearing this, and seemed to be very convinced of this invincible powerhouse called Windlass. As the 7 males of Heavenly City also left, the surrounding cultivators who were watching the battle gradually dispersed, and in the end, only a piece of rubble was left in this place, and there was not another single figure anymore. In the middle of a restaurant in the City of Heaven, Kangchon's trio landed and stayed down, cultivating in seclusion while waiting for the opening of the City of Heaven's battlefield. In that battle not long ago, Little Gold and Brahma's heart had gained a lot and needed time to experience it in seclusion. Kangchon, on the other hand, was escorting them while cultivating, striving to break through the 4th layer of the 9 revolutions Zhuanggong as soon as possible, breaking through to the realm of shattering the vacuum. And during this period, Kangchon's trio's battle against the 7 males of Heavenly City had also spread throughout the entire Heavenly City, causing an outcry and an unusual sensation. The mighty name of hegemonic Emperor Kangchon had instantly spread throughout the streets of the entire Heavenly City and was known by all. Regarding this, the 3 of them, Kangchon, had been in closed-door cultivation, so naturally he was not clear about it. Of course, even if he knew, he wouldn't care because he had already seen this kind of thing in the City of Man and the City of Earth. For half a month in a row, Kangchon's trio had passed in seclusion, and during this period, the 3 of them had each grown in their cultivation, and smiles appeared on each of their faces. It's been so long. It's time for the Heavenly City's battlefield to open, Vanshin said with some anticipation. Yes, the waiting Monkey Master is anxious. After coming to the spirit sealing space for so long, it's time to leave, Little Gold said. He somewhat missed the outside world. Kangchon didn't say anything. His gaze suddenly looked into the distance. His eyebrows arched and a surprised expression appeared on his face. Rumble, a roaring sound rang out, spreading throughout the entire City of Heaven, and an uproar rose. Within Kangchon's senses, a magnificent figure stepped into the air and flew high into the sky from the City Lord's mansion, letting out an ice gold chorus. Everyone listen. The opening of the City of Heaven battlefield is imminent. This was the City Lord of the City of Heaven. His voice was thick and spread throughout the entire City of Heaven. In an instant, countless figures of cultivators rushed out of their houses and surged towards the city gates. Many of them wanted to witness this spectacular scene, despite not going to the battlefield. Rumble. The heavens and earth roared, deafening the ears. The Heavenly City Lord stood above the sky, His clear and cold drinking voice spread throughout the entire ancient city. And then the city gates slowly opened, revealing an ancient and pale earth, transmitting a vast aura. Looking from afar, above the earth, hundreds of colorful light pillars rushed straight into the sky, shattering the void. It was a teleportation array, a real teleportation array to enter the heavenly city battlefield.